If a woman likes to get her hair washed by a man,
then fine.
Which cringe for real.
First of all, this stuff here is like with his curls. Talk about detangling process.
I'm gonna tell you
all
that. I'm not gonna do it right.
You don't know the detangling process that goes with washing natural hair, and to put all that sulfates.
How do you do that? How do you do that? What the hell is going on?
I'm just thinking, man, her hair is stripped.
Hi everybody, welcome back to our channel. If you haven't already, please like and subscribe to our channel if you enjoy our content. Alright guys, so we had a subscriber, I believe a subscriber, commented on a recent video of ours. So I'm going to read his comments and we are going to discuss this. Let's go. Alright, his name is Michael Harrison. Can you ladies do a female version of what is and what isn't being a simp? The millennials need to hear a woman's point of view. OG did the male version and nailed it. I'm not sure who OG is.
Yeah, I don't know who that is.
I don't know who OG is. I'm sorry, Michael. I have no idea who OG is. But he nailed it. Alright, so simp. You guys, I swear, when these new terms come up, like, I feel old. I'm like, I didn't know, but I know now, but I didn't know then. But should we just give the definition of what this is?
Yeah.
Okay, here, let me give the definition of what this is. We know the definition, but just in case. Alright, so a simp is an internet slang term describing a person, usually male, who performs excessive sympathy and attention towards another person, usually female, sometimes in pursuit of a sexual relationship. Urban Dictionary defines simp as someone who does way too much for a person they like. Alright, so Michael's asking us what it is, what we believe it is, and what it isn't. So I did think about this, Michael. I'm going to have to use like musical artists so you can kind of understand what I'm saying here. Marvin Gaye, Al Green, Lenny, what's his name?
Lenny Williams.
Oh, Lenny Williams. Okay, so if you guys all know music and know the lyrics they wrote, and usually about somebody real in their life, that will be considered now simp talk, like the way that they're talking. And I don't believe that's what that is. So if you're asking me what it isn't, men who cherish the woman they're with, you know what I mean, and really are really trying to pursue a woman, you know, and not being thirsty, just pursuing. That's not a simp. But I'm noticing that a lot of times people are making it seem like those types of men are now simps. So I don't feel like Al Green would do really well these days. He would be considered a simp.
I mean, I think when I think of, I guess, a simp, first of all, I don't think it's just men.
I don't either, but
I think women are simps too. Yeah, women who do too much too soon.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Like,
but it's usually male.
But I'm saying, like, to me, when you're reading the definition, I was thinking, man, women could be that too, you know. But
yeah, that's true.
I just think that when anybody does too much, like over complimenting you, or that is uncomfortable to me.
Yeah.
I don't like when someone just keeps going at me. I don't think it is. You're a simp because you're nice to a woman.
No.
I mean, you know, I think women have changed. So in those days, those men would be called simps because that's how women liked men to talk to them.
But it's like now when I see men who talk like that generation, younger men now that still believe in kind of that romantic stuff, right?
Right.
Or just kind of like a cherishing of a woman. Those men get called simps. I'm seeing this now. And that's when I first heard about this whole simp thing. Is, you know, that men who are over, like you said, like some of them are over complimenting.
I don't know how men think of this. I mean, this is a guy term. This is something men made up.
Yeah, so I'm like, what?
Right? So I guess it's like the opposite of pimp.
Right.
Because a pimp is supposed to be somebody who's pretty much, you know, strong with women. And, you know, women usually like him because he's confident in his, I guess, his approach, you know. But I don't know. I think if you're a mama's boy, a simp, or a friend zone person, eventually you're going to be a simp.
Yeah,
because you're just not comfortable with women.
Yeah, that's true.
You know what I mean? Somewhere, I don't know where we lost the translation, because I was watching this thing the other day where this guy was trying to understand what He was explaining what red pill was. They say that there's red pill men and there are these blue pill men, and they would call the blue pill men, I guess, simps.
Because they're saying they're still lost.
Because they're just saying that because women have like changed.
Yeah.
Women do like strength in men.
Yeah.
But they don't like I like a man with strength, but I don't like a guy who's like a punk.
No,
and I like for a guy to tell me no,
yeah,
and to stand up to me. I don't want to like. I never want to be able to just roll all over a man.
But when you talk about the red pill and that blue pill situation, you would be right. The blue pill people would be considered to be a simp within that community.
Yeah.
And then the red pill people are, I guess, not.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That's my. I mean, that's what I thought that it was about. But I don't think
it's the whole thing that women don't like nice guys.
Yeah, that's the base.
That's the whole base of it. Women don't like nice guys, and I think that sometimes even men get this wrong because they think that if they're just overly like sort of mean, then they think like that's something women like too. And some women don't like that, but they're damaged. Right. There are a lot of women who are broken, and they'll take a lot of stuff from men.
I feel like I have to talk about what people think. The narrative out there is that a simp is a man who is being polite to women. Mm-hmm. I think a simp is a man who isn't necessarily just being polite. He's trying too hard to get with her. So he's telling her all the things that he thinks women love to hear. All these, romantic things that women love to hear, that he thinks that women love to hear.
I mean, they used to call that man a whip.
Yeah, well, yeah.
I mean, back in the day, that was called whipped. I mean, a woman who a man really liked, and all of a sudden he became, gaga over her, and then he would do anything for her. Really acts right. And in those days, that women used to like that, but
it's like pandering, right?
Right.
It's like a man who's pandering to a woman what he's believing women love. You are right, because sometimes we think of simp as mama's boys too, because mama boys they act like that. But let me just keep on something. I'm sorry.
I know what I'm saying is, I guess that's where I have a hard time with all these words.
I know these words
because these words are crazy. You know what I mean? It's just like, look, there are men who are alpha males and there are men who aren't. Let's just keep it there. Why do we have to make it into all these different mamas, boys, pimps, simps? Alpha,
omega, beta.
You know what I mean? It's just like, come on, just be a man. You know what I mean? Like, Jesus, can you just be a guy? I mean, I'm not asking you to do everything for me. I don't like to be over complimented. I don't like to get everything I want all the time. I like a little pushback, but I don't want to be beat up. I don't want to be told to shut up. I don't, you know what I mean? Like, I don't want to be ignored. Down. Because if that's the opposite, it's like, let's not say that men need to be, that men can't be nice.
Right.
And can't have strength, because then it's just like, because with these younger guys, that could easily happen with words like this. Right. They feel scared to be nice to a woman that they like.
Right.
And so you got to be careful with words like this. It's just like high valued. It's like we just say these words, and then it's like the opposite of simp is like acting like this like jerk. Mm-hmm. And I don't want that either.
No, because people know. But see, I think men are not dumb. Y'all know what how you're supposed to be acting towards a woman.
And every man has probably been a simp sometime in his life.
Yeah.
So stop trying to act bad. Right. You know what I mean? Like, everybody, I'm not no simp. Like, every man has had a woman in their life that they were a simp for because they liked her, and some men will do it again. Yeah. You know why? Because people always factor out the attraction and love factor. Love changes everything, or how you treat someone. You know what I mean? So it's just the idea of saying that it's a man who panders to women. There are a lot of men who are going to pander to women if they like you.
Yeah, it's true.
If they like you, they're going to. On the other hand, there are men who are just completely desperate, and they feel like they have to do everything. And women kind of feel that out. You know what I mean? It's
like this. It's like the slang terms of all this is so difficult because it's like people just are wanting to fit into these couple of categories in life, and that's not how it works. Like, I would feel bad for the guy who's being called a simp. When he's really just trying to cherish, he's just in love, and love does make you act different. It can make it can make the most alpha male act a bit different. Mm-hmm. Now, it probably won't be like he'll never turn like beta or anything, but it can make a man who's like really an alpha male when he meets the right woman, he's different. Mm-hmm. I have seen this time and time and time and time again, and they simp a little bit. They do. They simp a little bit. They're trying to get the woman to like them.
Right. I think that every man has a little simp in them.
Yeah, I think so too.
You know what I mean? And I know that a lot of guys are like, oh no, it's easy to be big and bad when you're not in a relationship because you're not in love with anybody.
Right.
It's easy to do that. It's easy to make video after video about how to tell men how to be harder and tougher to women when you don't have a woman.
Yeah.
Until you fall in love. And men have told me this before.
Right.
There have been men who say men always act like that until they fall in love, and then they act completely different. You know why? Because you're supposed to. You're in a relationship now. I'm not saying you have to be, a slave, but because no woman even wants that. No woman. But just because a guy is nice to a woman does not mean that he is simping, and just because a guy is hard doesn't mean that he's somehow the king of the. It really depends on the person and how they effectively.
Well, because even the definition is saying someone who does way too much for a person they like. Mm-hmm. So doing way too much. So this is a person who will be overly complimentary. Now that is. That is unattractive to me. When someone is overly complimentary to you in a way where they're trying to just, pander to you. It's the simp zone, this friend zone, and the alpha zone. All of these zones are trying to get into the end zone.
On the other hand, I've seen men though who were kind of mean and aggressive to women that they actually really liked.
Yeah.
She just makes them feel uncomfortable.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's just like, come on, even these guys that have some sort of tough attitude. Sometimes remember back in little day when little boys just pull your hair?
Yeah, it's
sort of the same thing. You know what I mean? But only grown men do it in a different way. There are grown men who actually I've seen a grown man actually like a woman, but he's tough on her. Yeah. Because he's uncomfortable.
Right.
She makes him feel a little uncomfortable, so that's just where he goes naturally. Is to be sort of tough. Yeah. And you know what I mean? Then I've seen guys who, because they had mothers and aunts and they weren't raised with a father, they were around women who told them to treat a woman like a goddess. Mm-hmm. And so then they do it. They get their feelings hurt, and then everybody always progresses that they're never going to be nice to someone again. You know what I mean?
Seen comments, I've seen people even in our comments, a guy would be complimenting either Kara and I or just another girl in the comment, another woman in the comment, and just go, you're really beautiful, and you just whatever, say whatever to this person, and they'll go, oh, thank you, and then the guy will say something along the lines of, you're a queen, or one of those terms. I'm not really into those terms, but they would say something like that, and then I've seen other guys come in and go simp to the guy. I'm like, he's trying to shoot his shot with this girl. Mm-hmm. It's not, this is the beginning stages of that, and she's taking.
Right.
You know what I mean? I've seen this happen. There's
people, you can actually like the girl too, and because he had the courage to say something, then who's the simp? The person who said something, the person who wants to call somebody else's name because they didn't have the guts. Right. You know what I'm saying? How we can all look at this. It's sometimes there are these.
It's not black and white. It's just not a black and white.
It's just like we were saying about the. High value. Sometimes words just get thrown out there, and it's just you got to really. Yeah. There's more to it than just these blanket statements. Mm-hmm. What are you trying to train young men to be mean to women? It's you got to be careful about that, because there is a bit of strength women want in men, but we don't want abuse.
No, we want edge.
You know what I'm saying?
Women want a little bit of edge. I won't say all women, but majority of the women want a man to have a little bit of edge, and the reason why women want to have that little bit of edge is because it's a form of what we think is protection. When a man can have this will push back on some of your points sometime, or
right. It's just
be leader, that kind of thing. Yeah. The women want that, but we don't want you to be a complete jerk to where we can't even communicate right.
A lot of men though. Look, a lot of men date a lot of broken women, and there are a lot of broken women out here that are out here, and they don't really know how to be treated by a man, and so then these guys go out with these women, and they get heartbroken by them because those women aren't used to being treated well. Yeah. And then they go off, and I'm done treating women well. Yeah. So anybody who says anything good about a woman ends up being like a punk. Yeah. And then anybody who's tough and strong ends up being like a real man. And it's just there's a middle ground, people. You don't have to go all the way over here or all the way over here. There's a middle ground. Women want to be treated well and want to be complimented and things like that, but they just don't want to be, like I said, I was telling Danielle before, I like to be, when I'm in a relationship with a man, I like to be valued highly in his life, but I don't want to be worshipped.
Yeah.
I don't like worship because it's too much pressure, and I don't want to be that. I don't think you should worship people.
It's for men. Well, if you were to ask men this question, they would say a simp is a man who is, thirsty, sweating a girl all the time, giving her a million compliments a day, on her pictures, and she's writing these, putting flame emojis. And understanding from men is that who they're calling a simp, sometimes the guy is not a simp. He's just likes a girl. It's like what goes back to what we're saying, is that when a man, the most alpha of males, will always, some of them will simp down just the teens.
And sometimes to a woman, that is the most sexiest thing.
Yeah.
For a man, is an alpha male.
And then
he sort of be able to be
to get you
calm and sweet
to
you, because it makes you feel special.
Yeah.
Because he's not like that all the time. There is a middle ground, and with all these terms, this is why it becomes confusing, because no one ever talks about the middle ground. They always talk about the far right or the far left. It's like we're either all of this or you're all of that,
and that's not it. I wish I can get into the minds of a lot of people that found the one or the person that, or just found a woman that is like made him just do a double take about every part of her is just like what he really always wanted. And I'm guaranteeing you that guy is going to simp a little bit. Yeah. What, according to the, it's going to have a little bit. I'm not saying a lot. I'm not saying, that's what I'm saying. That's what we're saying though. There's this middle ground that no one's talking about. Like you were saying, it's like, you're a simp, which is basically a loser because you're trying too hard. Right, which I think that is a problem when a guy tries too hard. I think you are messing up your flow.
It's like a married guy. Have you seen married men go out with their friends and wear, dressing normal, and then it's Christmas Eve and they see them in matching pajamas with their wife and their kid, and they go, "Ha ha! Look at what your wife made you do." Well, he did do that for her. Yeah, he did. Because you know what I mean, and that would be considered simpy. Yeah, because he came down to a level to make someone happy. Yeah, because men don't want those photos. Those are female photos. Yeah. I mean, when I see that with the matching outfits, that is women. That's total women. Doing that. But there are men who are alpha males. They look and they'll totally put on a matching thing and put it on Facebook for all their friends to see. I've seen it. And it just happens. Yeah, you know what I mean. And I don't think that there's anything wrong with that.
I don't think there's anything wrong with it either. And I just think that if a man is trying to shoot a shot and he has to maybe bump up the compliments a little bit, he knows what he got to do. That's why he's doing it. You know what I mean? And he usually gets a girl. So it's not like, why are we acting like this is a new concept?
Well, because when it comes to dating, everybody is so afraid to be vulnerable.
Yeah, it's so
That's what it is. Everybody's red pill and women's liberated until they have to fall in love, and then everybody gets really afraid and they fall to their prospective corners because it makes you feel more in control if you can get control of your feelings. But the truth is, the only way to find someone is to somehow become vulnerable. And that's very hard for people these days, because we're always trying to look successful and look like we have it all together. And then the instant you fall in love with someone and then you don't have it all together because someone makes you nervous. Because every man has a woman that can make them nervous.
And if it hasn't happened to you yet, it will. It will. And then you'll go back to your in your brain, and you'll say, damn it, I'm going to have to simp a little bit. According to what the term means. Yeah. Because you want her. You may have not found her yet, but I'm telling you, when it's that woman who makes you do that double take, and you're like, and not just because of her looks or whatever, I'm talking about just all of it. And you're like, oh man, this is the girl of my dreams. How am I going to get her? You know what you got to do.
I've seen the strongest of men in love. And and they are different. Yeah. Yeah, they are. They're different. You know what I mean? And that's okay.
How can you not be though? But see, that's the thing though. How can you not be if you're in love? Or if you've seen someone that's different than every person you've ever come across, dated, or anything. If you've seen someone that's completely different, she walks different, she's just different.
Or she just makes you feel different.
She makes you feel different. How can you not, and you really want her, you're going to do what you got to do to get her. Yeah. I'm telling you. It may not have happened yet, but there's going to be that person. You're going to be like, man, how am I going to get her? And it's you. And the thing is that she's a woman of substance. You know what you got to do. right? And if you don't want to do it, then someone else will. You just missed out. That's a simp.
Right. I mean, it's all how you look at it.
It is all how you look at it.
You know, I can't keep up with all these terms.
So hard.
These terms are just nuts to me sometimes. Like, sometimes I just look at women's liberation and red pills and simps and pimps and mama's boys and I mean, it's like, Jesus.
Next week,
when did it happen? Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's just like, I mean.
But next week we're gonna be talking about this whole red pill and women's liberation and all that kind of stuff. And and I've had the opportunity to talk to some of these men, and I'm thinking to myself, what is happening here?
Why can't we just be ourselves?
And did you know?
That's what I'm saying. Why can't we? I'm sorry, but why can't we just be ourselves?
Right.
Why do we have to sort of change? Another thing is, like, remember we were saying about before about this is why I don't like groups.
I hate it.
I hate women's liberation. I hate all this red pill talk. I hate all of the, even with politics and everything, because people abandon who they are to fit in to an ideology or like a group, and then you like kill the individual. And then
the groups implode on themselves eventually, which is usually what happens. But now they have like these red pill, blue pill, there's a purple pill, all these different pills, pink pills, and
purple pill, black pill will be next.
I'm like, my brain is swimming because I'm like, I'm an intelligent woman, but I'm not going to be able to keep up.
I'm not going to be able to keep all of these terms. Like, all I want is a man. A man with strength, a man that can provide and protect me, a man that can say no to me sometimes, a man that can challenge me a little bit. That's it. I don't need you to have a label next to you for me to identify you. You know what I mean? It's just like, who's good for you when you run into each other. There can be a lot of men walk around, you simp, and then as soon as they meet someone, like, oh my God, I feel the simpness coming in. She's making me feel some sort of way. You can miss out on somebody trying to fit in like that.
It is really hard to say what it is and what it isn't, only because we understand the human nature of people.
I know who I am. So I know what I'm saying is I know who I am, so I know what I like.
Right.
So it's like.
But human nature, though. But see, like, this is the thing with Boy Meets Girl. See, y'all factor out so much stuff. It's really frustrating for us. Because when you're meeting someone, you don't know how you're going to act when you see someone that you really, really want. If this person, man or woman, is just completely different than what you've ever seen before. Like, you will be different. You will be different.
Yeah.
Because you know why? Because matters of the heart does something different to you.
It is so scary being in love. You know what I mean?
I understand.
I'm a woman. Women love love. You know what I mean? Like, I love love.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But it is so scary being in love because it can hurt you. It can hurt you, and it can tear you up, and it can make you glom onto these like groups because it's a healing process. So all of a sudden you want to be around people who think like you, so you can get charged up and feel better about yourself. But you know what? You'll do it again.
You do it again because it's a matters of the heart. You do it again because you're a human being. I don't like the idea of all these terms, and then having to decipher what it is and what it isn't. It's like, I get the idea behind it, you guys. Don't think of me. I'm gonna get extra deep with this, but I do get the idea behind it.
Right.
A man who is over complimentary to a woman and is being extra sympathetic with her and always trying to be around her, and she's a queen and has your crown, hold your crown, and all this stuff, and you're cherishing everything she does. I do get there's excessiveness. I do get it. I'm uncomfortable when men are too excessive with pursuing me.
Right. I mean, remember when, I don't know who it was. I don't know if it was Jada Pinkett or Will Smith, or if it was Gabrielle Union and what's his name, Dwayne Wade. But remember that picture that was going around where she was on the red carpet and he was taking a picture of her, and all the men were like, this is how you need to feel about your woman, be her biggest fan. Oh, and that was like the thing every man was throwing around. But now that's a simp.
Now it's a simp. You see how it changes?
See how it changes right away? It's like, I remember that picture going around, and almost every guy I know, hard or soft, was thrown, be her biggest fan. Be this, do that. You know what I mean? There is a meme that goes around where the guy is painting the girl's toenails.
I've seen that.
And there's
washing the girl's hair.
That video of the girl getting her hair washed.
That would be a simp.
You know what I mean? I don't like that.
Yeah.
Now let me tell you, like, a lot of men think that is like the most romantic thing, and all these women were passing it around. See, this is what you want your hand. I don't want my man washing my hair, and I don't want him doing my nails. I don't even, I don't like metrosexual types of guys anyway. You know what I mean? I like the defined roles in relationships. So I like masculinity because I'm feminine. So when I see things like that, I think they're overly romantic and embarrassing.
If a woman likes to get her hair washed by a man,
then fine.
Which cringe
for real. Huge cringe for a man to sit there and wash my hair. First of all, this stuff here is like with his curls. Talk about detangling process.
I'm gonna tell you
all
what,
that.
That is funny.
he's not gonna do it right. Well, I saw
You
this on
don't know
Instagram.
the detangling process that goes with washing natural hair and to put all that sulfates.
How do you do that? How do you do that? What the hell is going on?
Okay, wait.
And to put all those sulfates in that woman's hair and just really going in, I'm just thinking, man, her hair is stripped.
I'm sorry, y'all.
You know what I mean? But I'm just saying,
Yeah,
like,
but it is
I think it's
cringy. I don't
super
like doing
weird.
it.
But a lot of women don't think that.
They
Look,
think it's great.
you know how many black women I know mostly black women. So you know how many black women that see those pictures of those men painting toenails,
God.
and like, oh my god, I wish my king would do that for me. And
Really?
I'm like, I do not want that at all. I like,
sure?
first of all, I get my nails and stuff done,
Yeah.
and I want someone else to do it. I definitely don't want him washing my hair. That is absolutely not going to happen. You know what I mean?
For me, that would be if my man turned into that and he knows I don't like that. I'm like, you're simping, man.
Okay, you are simping for real. Now stop it.
Stop simping.
Think about love language.
Yeah,
You
right.
gotta understand love language for people,
yeah.
and that's why you can't say someone's a simp or a pimp or all of these mama's boys. I would say does need to be fixed.
No.
That's a whole different category to
Yeah.
me because that's just somebody who would choose his mother over his woman.
Yeah.
That is a problem to me. But as far as all these terms go, you have to know people's love language. Men don't like the same thing from every type of, you know what I mean? Like a lot of women think that the same man is going to like, all the same men are going to like what she gives. And that's not true. Men have different love languages too that they want. So it's like, it's not so much of labeling you a simp or whatever. It's mostly just understanding who you're dating. And I think your strength comes from that. But does it matter if for like a good, say you're a guy who thinks somebody's a simp, does it vary? The simpiness?
Yeah, tell us. Cause we
does it
don't,
vary? Because I know some men will say that's a simp, but another guy will say no, it's not.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, what is the?
That's why I was bringing up.
That's why
I was bringing up like the Al Green type attitudes and the Marvin Gaye type attitudes. They really cherished women, and there are men now that still like that.
And I want to be cherished.
Yeah, but there's also like there's younger men now who do like.
And do you think though?
Well.
But that's what I was gonna say. Do you think though that it does have to do with age? Because different
It could
like
be,
millennials are much different than my age
They
group.
are.
You know what I mean? So women in my age group could be completely different.
He did mention millennials,
And then
didn't
also
he?
because we were watching, like you said, ABBA and Preach, and they're millennials.
Yeah, they are.
And so they are funny, but sometimes they talk about dating, and I don't agree. But that's just because I'm 45 almost, and they're in their 30s. So there's there's an age gap. Certain women of a certain age don't want to be treated like a millennial.
Because he says that he's saying that the millennials need to hear a woman's. Michael said the millennials need to hear a woman's point of view, and you know the woman's point of view is really broad.
Yeah, because it depends on the woman.
It depends on the woman. Like if I was with a man who all of a sudden started doing like I don't know,
Like, don't sing to me.
like singing to me.
That's especially if you can sing. Especially if you can sing.
It might be better. Okay. But yeah, if a guy went outside of what he normally does for me, you know, he knows what way I am, and I'm like, why did you all of a sudden do that? It would be kind of weird. I guess it would be kind of weird, but I still wouldn't call him. I don't know, you guys. It's just, Michael, yeah, you probably thought it was going to be cut and dry, and you were wanting a woman's point of view, and this is what it looks like. Because men are very simple.
There's a middle ground to everything.
Is OG a man? OG did the male version of it. See, that's the thing, is that whoever OG is, he did the male version and nailed it. The reason why is probably because he was cut and dry. I don't know who this guy is, but I bet if I watch the video, he probably said a simp is this and a simp is not this. And because you know why? Because men are very simple, any age.
Yeah.
Men are very simple and they just think of they have two terms and this is what it is and this is what it isn't.
Right.
With women, it is different. So if you want to hear a woman's point of view, this is what it's going to look like. We don't think about it like that.
A simp after a breakup might become a red pill guy. And then a red pill guy, if he falls in love, might simp a little. You know what I mean?
Right.
It really depends on where you are mentally.
It
Because a lot of hurt men think everybody's a simp.
Yeah.
That shows any kind of affection to a man.
woman,
I mean, I have actually seen that where guys do something nice for their girlfriend. Simp. Like everything that they
Yeah,
use. Like what? He said hi. I'm like, okay. He said, you know what I mean? I don't really. Again, I don't know if I'm just too old for this.
I think we might be.
I think I'm just a little too, you know.
Yeah.
I think I'm just a little too old for this
slang.
because the stuff just flies past me. No, I'm not.
It's not cut and dry for me, and the only reason why is because these terms are getting ridiculous. That's one, and two, they're getting really ridiculous. I can't. You know, you already know how I feel about the high value thing. That was really. I'm over the terms, but I do get the idea behind it.
You know, so
yeah.
I don't know if we answered that. I have no idea.
Michael?
Again, I am so not with it.
I know.
With these new terms and things like that. So that can work against you. You must be yourself. Right. If you're not yourself, you will literally miss out on opportunities.
I don't even know if we answered that. I will say this though. There's nothing wrong with a man loving on his woman.
No.
And if that's considered a simp, then you're a simp.
Right.
School us. How about that?
Yeah, school us.
Yeah, school us in the yeah, please.
School us. I don't know.
I would love to hear what everyone believes a simp is and isn't, men and women, because it might just be just us. We don't like terms. You know, like we always say, we always learn from the comments, always. So yeah, comment below. Let us know what you think. Don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel, you guys. We would love that. That would be great. Thank you for watching, and everybody have a really good day. Bye.